Hi, I'm Reverend Tom Kearns, and welcome to 333 Magic 9, where the tarot cards and the astrology stars come together to help you. Now, 2022 will be a different year than 2021, but there still are some critical days that you need to know about because they can affect your love, your money, and your career. So let's take a closer look at some of the important days in 2022. I hope you will like this video and also press the little bell for notifications when my new videos come out. The tarot card for the first quarter is the Death card, which represents death and the possibility of resurrection. The tarot card for the second quarter is the Magician, which represents spiritual power being used on the earth plane for creation. The tarot card for the third quarter is the Seven of Cups, which represents misrepresentation, confusion, and temptation. The tarot card for the fourth quarter is the Wheel of Fortune, which represents a new cycle with new potential in the spiritual continuity behind the ever-changing world. Libra, the tarot card for the first quarter and overshadowing the whole year is the Death card. The Death card represents not only death, but the possibility of rebirth and renewal. It can also represent revolution and may be very apropos since Pluto, the planet of death and resurrection, will return to the exact degree it was at the birth of the United States of America. This will represent a purging of people who have abused power and beliefs that are false. There is hope for a better future. So as we look into the first quarter, the year begins with 4 planets down in Capricorn in your 4th house of security and home and family. Now, since Venus is conjunct Pluto and Venus is retrograde, this is the perfect time to reevaluate what you need in personal support to feel more secure in the coming year. Mercury will go retrograde on the 14th of January, suggesting a need for care with what you say to romantic partners. And Uranus will turn direct in your 8th house on the 18th, suggesting that you redirect your intimate passions and your investments. Now, February begins with the Sun, Moon, and Saturn all in a conjunction in your 7th house. So this may bring a sense of seriousness to your relationships. And you may have to control your emotions when dealing with partners. Now, Mercury and Venus, both direct, may help in creative projects or with romance. And then March will begin with a new moon conjunct Jupiter, right there, and that will be in your 6th house, bringing luck and opportunity through work and daily routines. And take communication seriously because Saturn and Mercury are together in the first week. Now, as we go to the second quarter, the tarot card is the Magician. This represents the ability to use all the elements, earth, air, fire, and water, and to use them in the act of creation. So this is a very dynamic energy and suggests that what has been purged will make way for an energy that is much more constructive and creative. It also suggests that there is a spiritual power that is being used on the earth plane, which would coincide with Jupiter moving from Pisces to Aries. So as we look down into the astrology, April begins as Venus is entering the sign of Pisces, and this is really a very good place for her. She's exalted in this sign, and so this is a positive influence helping you with your everyday sort of responsibilities. but you may have to use a little sensitivity and cooperation at work. Jupiter will conjunct Neptune on the 12th, bring an opportunity to join co-workers in a creative project that may lead to a dream job or a raise. And then the new moon will end April, May with a powerful boost of energy up in your 8th house of shared energy. So a new level of intimacy can be reached with partners. But when Mercury goes retrograde on the 10th and Jupiter enters Aries, people may be too independent to cooperate. Now that will lead to a total lunar eclipse on the 16th, and money issues will demand your really awareness and control. June may settle down a bit as Mercury goes direct on the 3rd, so spend some extra time at work, and Saturn goes retrograde in your house of romance. So be careful. Know what is appropriate and what is not. The rest of the month has both Venus and Mercury in Gemini, and that just makes everybody a little bit more talkative, and it makes you a little bit more ambitious. The card for the 3rd quarter is the 7 of Cups. Now this card represents confusion and temptation. In the real world, it can be associated with misinformation or not being able to clearly understand the choices that are in front of a person. The challenge becomes making wise decisions and not being swayed by misinformation or your emotions. So as we look down into the astrology, July will be a busy month as 4 planets make changes. Now, Mars in week 1 will be in your 8th house, and that is going to really urge you to be more passionate. And Mercury up in your 10th house will suggest that this is a good time to make presentations to enhance your career. And in the 3rd week, Venus will want to be secure, so spend time in meditation. And then Mercury will enter the 11th house, suggesting you spend time networking with associates. And Jupiter will go retrograde on the 28th, so you may have to reevaluate your partnerships and your public image. As we go into August, there's a similar pattern as Mercury moves into the 12th house on the 4th, making you shy away from conversations. And Venus in your 11th house on the 11th attracts you to social networking. But Mars in your 9th house wants you to be aggressive. So it's all this energy. It's very confusing. But Mars in the 9th also represents focusing on the future. The 24th has Uranus going retrograde in your 8th house, so you may have to reconsider joint investments and some intimacy, so be careful there. And September is a little bit easier as Venus comes down to Earth on the 4th, so take some time to dream. And Mercury will go retrograde in your 1st house, suggesting you watch what you do and what you say in public. Now, as we go to the 4th quarter, the tarot card is the Wheel of Fortune. It depicts the 4 fixed signs of the zodiac, bringing a sense of the spiritual continuity that lies behind the ever-changing nature of the world. There's a very positive card and suggests that our fortunes are taking a turn for the better. In fact, you may be feeling that way already. So enjoy the positive cycles of life. And as we look down here into the astrology, October begins with Mercury direct in your 12th house. This can be beneficial for finding emotional clarity and gaining spiritual understanding. So listen carefully to your dreams. Pluto turns direct in your 4th house on the 8th, bringing changes or adjustments to home and family matters. And then Saturn will turn direct on the 23rd in your 5th house, bringing new opportunities through creativity and romance. November begins as Mars will go retrograde in the ninth house, so be careful the way you treat other people and their beliefs. We then move into a total lunar eclipse on the 8th, and that warns against mixing passion and finances. And then Jupiter goes direct on the 23rd in your 6th house, and that suggests the start of a beneficial cycle in work and your daily routine. As we go into December, Neptune starts off the month direct in your 6th house, clearing up any confusion you might have at work or with coworkers or with your health. And then Venus and Mercury move into the 4th house just in time to make you feel a little bit more secure and allowing you to enjoy home and family. But do be a little bit careful with your communications and travel, as Mercury will go retrograde on the 29th. Hi, I'm Reverend Tom Kearns, and this is my story. If you are a spiritual seeker, it may help you on your journey. I believe your spiritual development is as important as your religion. If you look at Christianity, it focuses on the life of Jesus. But Jesus was never a Christian. He was Jewish. If this thought intrigues you, you'll enjoy my new book, Light from Water, Freeing Jesus. It's available on Amazon.com and through fine bookstores. And it may help you on your spiritual journey. I hope you will like this video and also press the little bell for notifications when my new videos come out. I'd like to thank you for watching. I'd like to thank you for listening. And please subscribe, because these videos are free, and that's a great price. And they can help you in the coming year. So please take a moment to ring the bell so you can be notified for new videos. And if you want some deeper information, go to my website, ProfessorAstrology.com, and you can find ways to get a transit chart or a natal chart so you know more about you. And I hope that you have a very great year.